Here's a standard battle against Dark Void from Maryland. So I lead off with my Togekiss, he leads off with a Primeape, and he's fearing for Choice Scarfed Air Slash, so he switches, and I'm fearing for Stone Edge, so I switch, and he goes for Azumarill, and I went to my Woopa, and for some reason he went for Aqua Jet, but my Water Absorb makes that useless. So here on the switch I just go for the free damage, but he goes for Umbreon, who's gonna totally wall me, so I switch into my Registeel fearing the Toxic, and he does go for Toxic, so that's great. And here he scouts my moves, and that's great cause I go for Gravity here, and he doesn't wanna find out what my next move is, so he switches into Primeape as I go for Dynamic Punch. And now I just go for Zap Cannon, but I miss as he went for counter. Don't really know, maybe expecting Earthquake or something. So now he goes for Close Combat. That does great damage to my Registeel, but that doesn't KO, so that's great. And now I hit my Zap Cannon, and I get the Primeape paralyzed, which is great. So I go for another Dynamic Punch, and I get it confused again, and he hits himself in confusion like that. And now I just go for Gravity again, as the Primeape hits himself again like a stupid monkey. So now he goes to Raikou, and he goes for Charge Beam, hoping to get a special attack rate, but he doesn't. So I go for Dynamic Punch, and I get it confused. So now he goes for Hidden Power, most likely Fire or Fighting, but it doesn't KO because I have great special defense. So I just go for Zap Cannon to get it paralyzed, and I went for Dynamic Punch, but I miss, and he goes for Charge Beam, hoping that it will KO at this point, but no! I survive with 1 hit point. So that's awesome, and that tells me that this is pretty good time to explode. And what's even more great is that he switches, so I can hit that Azumarill pretty hard, but because I don't have any attack EVs, the Azumarill just won't die. So here I send out my Togekiss, and I'm hoping for a Parahax, but I don't get it. So I switch into my Woopa again, and since it's a physical wall, it's gonna take those Ice Punches pretty nicely. So I set up one Curse here, and he goes for another Ice Punch. That doesn't do too much anymore. So I recover the damage done, and he just keeps on Ice Punching, and before he decides to switch or anything, I just go for Earthquake to finish it off. And now he brings in Ninetales, so I switch fearing the Energy Ball or Hypnosis, and he went for Hypnosis, which is great on his part, so I have to switch again, as he goes for Nasty Blood, which sucks ass, and here he goes for Flamethrower, and that's gonna take my Togekiss down. So now I bring in my Nidoqueen and I scare it off, and he goes for Umbreon, which is great because now I can just set my Stealth Rocks and stuff. So he went for Payback, and for some random reason he is faster than me. So I set up my Stealth Rock here, and he got poisoned by my Poison Point ability, which is great. so I can wear it down a little bit. And he goes for another payback, but that's not gonna do anything to me. And now I have my stealth rock and 2 layers of toxic spikes, so that's pretty awesome. So he switches here as I went for Earthquake, trying to wear the Umbreon down, but he just death forders this Raikou. So now he can bring out his Winnie Pooh Ursaring in safely, and he went for Sword Dance here, but I expected that and I just went for Roar. And now I get some nice damage on the Ninetales and I get it poisoned. And he switches here back to his Winnie Pooh, but I just Roar and I bring out the Ninetales again, and it gets totally raped by the Stealth Rocks here. So now he just goes for Flamethrower. It does pretty decent damage. So, and he took a Life Orb Recall there. So the next Stealth Rock will be able to kill the Ninetales. So he went for Wish here, as I go for Earthquake. And if he doesn't go for Protect, I will be able to KO it. But instead he goes for Ninetales, but it dies to Stealth Rock, so that was pretty weird of him. I don't know why he switched right there. And now he brings back his Winnie Pooh and he goes for Earthquake, and because Ursaring has great attack and his guts activated, that's gonna take my Nidoqueen, my physical wall, down. So now I just bring my another better physical wall, Woopa, and I just set up one curse as the toxic grows more stronger and takes damage on Winnie Pooh. He went for Shadow Claw and I just recovered the damage. And now he goes for Earthquake, I believe. Yeah. But after one curse, that's not gonna do too much. So I go to Earthquake of my own. And with the little help of Toxic, it's gonna take the Ursaring down. So now his last Pokemon is Umbreon, and I just go for Earthquake for the finish. He went for Toxic here. And that's GG. So thank you guys for watching again, and see you later. Adios.